Special report. Down in Virginia, a man was just arrested for protecting his home. Some kids were playing around 3 o'clock in the morning. He grabbed his piece. Things got ugly. Let's take a look. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me again on the Community Ledger. Again, my name is Andrea Banu. If you have not already, please go hit that subscribe button. And like I stated above the intro, it's a really sad story. Down in Virginia, some kids were playing around. I think it's called Ding Dong Ditch. Nonetheless, it's 3 a.m. They playing around in the neighborhood, and a man thought they were breaking into their home, and things got ugly. So let's go ahead and hear the news report.
Tonight, an arrest for murder in Virginia after teens tell authorities an age-old childhood prank, the Ding Dong Ditch, turned deadly. A high school senior shot to death while doing the stunt. His friends say for a TikTok video. Now the homeowner, Tyler Chase Butler, arrested and accused of second-degree murder. The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office saying in a press release it was 3 a.m. Saturday morning when they got a call for a burglary in progress where shots were fired. Deputies found 2 people with gunshot wounds on the scene. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was transported to a local hospital where he died just hours before his high school prom. His stepfather telling me he was a student athlete who played lacrosse, football, and wrestled, now gone. Another teen grazed with a bullet, telling investigators, according to court records, they weren't trying to break into the home to steal anything. They were just ringing doorbells and running away. And a third teen, not shot, telling authorities the same story and showing police a similar video from earlier that night. The question is whether a resident can claim self-defense in such a case.
In Virginia, if you are going to use lethal force, you have to be in fear from the perspective of a reasonable person of bodily harm, great bodily harm, or death.
The sheriff's office saying the Butler is held on no bond at a local jail. We haven't been able to reach him or an attorney. The investigation is still ongoing and may uncover if it really was a ding-dong ditch that led to shots ringing through this neighborhood and a young life lost. Drew Wilder, NBC Washington.
That's tragic. That's tragic. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with these young kids, but this TikTok, this social media, it's gonna get y'all hurt, okay? Y'all, and what in the world is this kid doing out at 3 o'clock in the morning? I know when I was 17, 18 years old, I wasn't allowed to just be running the neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning. What's going on? Where are his parents? They should be held responsible for a portion of this. This is horrible. First of all, why are you out that young at 3 o'clock in the morning? Okay? Then secondly, you're not even at somebody's house. You out roaming the neighborhood doing pranks for TikTok, knocking on people's doors. Do you realize how dangerous that is? I don't know what in the world possessed these kids to do these kind of things, not being able to see the level of danger. How many times have we heard about these kids pulling these pranks and end up getting seriously injured? Okay. I think it was last year, a young kid pulled one of these pranks in the parking lot at Walmart and got shot. Like, people do not be playing with y'all. I get that y'all playing, but everybody ain't playing. Everybody ain't playing, especially not at no 3 o'clock in the morning when you knocking on folks' doors. That is crazy. Now, I don't know the context in which they were playing. I don't know if they just knocked and ran or what happened. I'm hearing, allegedly that they were it appeared that they were trying to kick the door in. I don't know if they kicked it and ran or what happened. But could you imagine 3 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up out of your sleep by somebody either toggling your doorknob, kicking the door, ringing the doorbell? Of course it's going to scare you. And a lot of people are advocates of that Second Amendment. Okay. So the first thing you going to do is go get your peace. Okay. And if you got a family, if you got a wife, you're going to do what you got to do. So, this is incredibly unfortunate. It is incredibly unfortunate. I am not in support of anybody losing their life behind nothing like this, but it's tragic, and you cannot play like this. You cannot play like this. And the unfortunate thing is, one, the gentleman has now lost his life behind this silly game, but now this man might end up spending some real time in prison behind this, when, truth be told, he was just defending his property, defending his family. He don't know what the hell is on the other side of that door. He don't have a clue. He ain't looking out there and see, and apparently, I don't know, they said ding dong ditch means you take off running, you hide, carrying on like that. So he don't know what the hell is going on the other side of that door. And shots were fired. So now a lot, is still to be uncovered. It says in the state of Virginia, he may have a stand your ground law. He may be protected because he was in his home. He did call 911 under the impression that his home was being burglarized. I don't know if these kids were running. I don't know, was one of them hit in the back? Two of them apparently were hit. One of them is not here anymore. So how much of it is actually recorded and will be revealed. It's unfortunate in so many ways. I feel for this man because he's a victim in this, because he's just minding his business, sleep, and then some kids come playing, and of course the young man who lost his life is of course a victim, because of course they don't think that that's going to be the ramification. Nobody goes out there, especially not no 17-18-year-old, playing a game thinking that they going to end up losing their life behind something like this. But this needs to be a precautionary tale for these kids. Listen, find another means of having a good time on TikTok and YouTube and on these apps, and infringing on other people's personal space and knocking on people's doors at midnight ain't it. I'm telling you now, it ain't it. Okay. I have seen video after video with these people playing with random strangers on the street, and everybody ain't what you think. Okay. It's a whole lot of crazy people out of here, and it's a whole lot of people that's just waiting for an opportunity to get in your ass. So it is not what you want. It is just not where you want to go. So listen, you're going to have to be more creative. You're going to have to do some other kind of pranks and get more creative with how you get views, because this ain't it. Anytime your life is in danger or can be in danger, it's too much. It's too much. And this young kid's life was taken from him behind ding dong ditch. It's awful. It's a sad story all around from top to bottom. But what's your opinion? What is your opinion? Do you think that this homeowner should be criminalized? Do you think he should be prosecuted for second-degree unaliving? Do you think that he should spend some real time for this, based on the fact that, he didn't know what the hell was on the other side of that door, and in his eyes was protecting his family? Or do you think that this was self-defense? I would love to continue this conversation in the comment section so we can really unpack, what the legal ramifications is for this. So again, if you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so now. And until next time, this is the Community Ledger. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and watch the next video by clicking right here.